Hey guys, welcome back to another build video. In today's video, I am making a cottage, which was very interesting for me to do. I was basically on Google just looking for a bunch of build ideas, and then I came across like this little cottage, and it looked so cute that I just had to try and build it, and I think it really turned out well. There's a lot of like overgrown area over the house, which I thought was really cool because I don't get much opportunity to use that stuff and I really like using it. So overall, I'm actually really happy with the way this build was. And I also, another thing I liked is that because I wanted it to kind of fit with the cottage type theme, not that I've ever been inside of a cottage before, but there's also like a lot of stone, a lot of wood, so I didn't use a lot of modern items inside of the house itself. I used a lot of like wooded stuff and stuff that looked a bit like antiques just because I thought it fit how the build looked, and overall I just really liked it. It was something that I was really proud of, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this was actually so fun to do. I think it took me 2 or 3 days to do. I don't quite remember, but I really did enjoy it. And we are gonna change that roof to a little bit of a darker roof. I did like that it had that option so it kind of looks like a thatch roof because I felt like that fit a lot. And I also like the new roof. I can't say roof. I also like the new roof tools. I don't know everything about it. I saw there was an update, but I didn't really know what it did. But I think you can do like a lot more options, which is actually really cool. As you can see on the top of the roof, we are busy putting in like stone chimneys, but I think I tried putting one on the lower layer, but it didn't end up working out. So I do take that lower chimney off because it took me way too long to do and it just didn't work out in the end. So we do take that off, but over there I'm just adding some of the plants around by the windows, and I also replaced the windows to be a little bit larger because I just felt like you can see more. I just felt like that fit a bit more. So we do that, and we take out the little metal windows, but I think we do put one or two in. I don't quite remember. I think we keep, yeah, I think that might be the only one we keep down there, and that one looks into the bathroom, so it's not like you needed a big window over there. But yeah, basically this is going to be what the outside looks. I'm adding a bit of like that overgrown greenery around the house just so it kind of looks like it's in a forest type of area, which again, I've never actually seen a cottage, but this just reminded me a lot of the story of like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't know why. I think it just, I remembered that story a lot while making this cottage, and I don't know if I was exactly keeping that in mind, but it just kind of reminded me of it, and I thought it was kind of cool, even though I'm pretty sure that cottage is a bit smaller from the outside, but bigger. I don't actually remember what that cottage looks like, to be completely honest, but overall, like I said, I did like the way this cottage turned out. And by the end of the build, I think we add more plants around the area. I just try and do like some landscaping and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure if I'm happy with the way all of that stuff looks. But like when you zoom in, I really like the way the cottage itself looks, but I don't know if I like the way I did the landscaping. So yeah, if you guys really don't like it but you want this build, then feel free to take it out because I wasn't entirely happy. I had mixed feelings about it. So yeah, that was just what happened. And I think we're gonna start adding in the furniture. Over there we're starting with the kitchen, and when I first started making the cottage, I was very mindset on trying to keep it old fashioned, but a little bit later I decided that using that like oldish type of fridge just wasn't really working with the aesthetic. But I do still keep the theme of it being very woody and fairly traditional. I wanted it to look more traditional than modern. And I think I did a good job with that. I like the way it turned out overall, which was pretty impressive. I think for a lot of the build, I sticked with a darker theme of colors, but I would occasionally add like a pop of color every now and again because I just felt like that was necessary, being me. I always kind of do that where I stick with one main color theme and then I just add pops of color everywhere just because I like it, and I'm not gonna change that. So deal with it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I did. I'm just putting around like a bunch of accents and stuff. So there's like those like coffee and sugar mugs there at the top, which I thought suited it well. And this is like where you come in the entrance area. So it's not really much. I just kind of started throwing stuff in, and I was just like, okay, that looks fine. That looks unique. And I found that chest, I think it was under decorations or something, and it was very interesting when I found it because I don't think I've ever seen it before, and it comes in a bunch of cool different colors, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this looks so cool. So I had to use it. I don't remember if I used it in one of the bedrooms. I think I was thinking about it, and I'm not too sure if I did. I did this build like 3 days ago. But yeah, over there I'm just changing some of the color scheme to fit around, and we add some shelves, and I think we just put plants up there, maybe a picture, I'm not too sure. And we also add a clock. I'm pretty sure we size up a clock and we put it on that wall, and then we had to put something underneath because there was that annoying shadow that was on the bottom. I have no idea why with some objects when you size them up it kind of sizes up perfectly. Like maybe if you go too big the pixels get a little bit fuzzy, but that's to be expected, just like with a picture. But sometimes when you size up objects it leaves like a shadow, which I don't really get why that is, but to be fair, I'm not really a designer for these types of things. Maybe one day I will be, and then I'll understand the struggle. But yeah, I don't really get that. I hope it's something they can fix, because then I won't have to keep hiding the shadows. And now we are busy working on the living room slash TV room slash book area. I think we put a bookshelf somewhere at the back just to kind of fill up the space. But yeah, there's nothing really special here. I think that's the first time I used that chest as kind of a TV stand, which I think it is supposed to be meant for that, like a TV stand, but it's the first time I've used it because in normal houses I don't really see how it fits, but like in this kind of cottagey thing I thought that was perfect. So I remember seeing that and being overly excited about being able to put a TV on this chest because I've never been able to do that before. So that's what we do over there. We have a bit of a blue theme going on. I know a lot of the windows we have those same curtains, I think everywhere. I don't know if we use a different curtain, but we do stick with the blue theme a lot just because I felt like it was a plain blue. It just kind of fit nicely and I appreciated that. So yeah, that is basically the lounge area. I think we're probably going to add like a few plants and maybe a mirror. There's a little bonsai tree, just, for that cottagey goodness, relaxingness. I honestly don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, I added in a bonsai tree, and here's like a tiny little bathroom at the bottom. I think we also put one at the top, which is slightly bigger. This was actually really hard because it was such a small space to work with, so I don't even know if they'll be able to use that bath. I'm sure they will be. I'm not too sure. Whenever I build, I always have the move objects cheat on, so I'm not always sure if it's fully usable, but I'm gonna assume that it is. And here's the downstairs bedroom. So there's a lot of grays in this room, if I remember. There's that grey dresser and the mirror, and then we put a picture on top with the grey frame, and we have that grey desk over there, and then yeah, it's just kind of grey at the back, and then you get like the wooded bed in front. And I do like this room actually. I had a lot of fun playing around with this room and getting different colors, and I just really enjoyed it. And I also love doing feature walls, which if you've seen my videos, you'll notice. And it will always be that there's a feature wall somewhere in some one of my builds, because I like it. It's kind of like a bit of a surprise. Like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be, but bam, there's a bit of a surprise over there, which I don't know makes sense, but I love doing feature walls, if you haven't noticed. So that is basically the downstairs bedroom, and upstairs we have like a master bedroom, which is much bigger, and I think there's a lot of stone in there. I don't remember everything else, but there's going to be a little entranceway, which is where the stairs come up, and that I think is the bathroom, which I ended up liking a lot. It took me a while to kind of get a good feel about it, of like what I wanted to do, but at the end of the day, I do like what I did. I really did, because instead of like trying to fill up a bunch of space, like you'll see me over there trying to awkwardly fit in that bathtub, but after a while I was just like, you know what, this isn't working, and I put that little wall there, and I was like, you know what, this actually works out a lot better. So I put in like a little wall to kind of block off the bath, and I think after I was like really happy with the bathroom, I was like, oh my gosh, there's no toilet. So I had to quickly make space for that. And then I was like, okay, now I can decorate the bathroom, which is what I did by putting random stuff everywhere, because I don't know, that's just my style and I like it. So that ends up what the bathroom looks like. I guess you can say it's like the master bathroom with the master room upstairs. I don't really know what you call that, but over here's like, do you call it an entranceway? Just a knick-knack area where, you know, there's like plants and stuff, and there's a bit of seating area, and basically you go up the stairs into this room with a bunch of the plants and the paintings and the flowers, and then you can go to the main bedroom and to the bathroom as well. So that's basically how that room looks. I think we'll just put a picture on that wall, or two. You know, two is better than one. And over here, we are going to be doing the last room. So it took me forever to try and find a color I wanted for that feature wall. After a while, I was thinking, like, maybe I shouldn't have a feature wall. And I was kind of more into that idea than having a feature wall. But it was just too much stone for me. Like, I needed a bit of color on the wall. And I think we just put in more of those wooded tile, not wooden tile, but those like little wooded strips. I think we just put that there for like a feature wall, just so it's kind of like a break in all of the stone. And over there we are busy putting our bed. I was working with like a lot of green colors, so I was like, oh, maybe the feature wall can be like this minty green, but then I was like, oh, that's too cheerful. And it's not that I wanted this room not to be cheerful, it was just, it wasn't fitting with the room. I wanted it to be like more of a toned down green, but then you only get dark greens, and it's just a struggle trying to find the right green, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, after a while we do it like that little wood paneling, which I think works out in the end. And downstairs there's an easel for like painting, and upstairs there's that piano to be making some music. So this is kind of like a little cottage for the creative types. I can't imagine there's much like TV signal or anything like that. Maybe no internet up here by the cottage. So they'll have to find other activities to keep them busy. And over here, we are busy doing the outside area. So this is what I was having kind of doubts about. I just kind of threw stuff around like I normally do. But at the end, I looked at it overall and I was just like, I don't know if I like this, but I kept it in the video just because I was like, it's not too bad, but I don't know if I like it. But yeah, in the end, I just kept it in. I still don't know if I like it that much. I guess after a while, I'll get a kind of feel about it. But yeah, we just kind of put some plants leading up to the cottage, and we have like this little area where there's a glass roof over it, and you have to go into that like wooded archway where there's that vines growing on it to get to like a bunch of wood at the back, because I was like, okay, you know, maybe there's not too much electricity, they can't really have heaters because it's in a forest type area. Well, that's what I was thinking. And also because it's The Sims, and The Sims doesn't have heaters yet. So yeah, I was like, they'll have to go outside over there to get the wood, to burn the wood. And that was my idea. Over here we have these random plots of water that I put like fountains in, and I don't know what I was doing. I was like, let me make this place look magical, and I don't know if that's exactly the reaction I'll get when I see the cottage, but yeah, it's good enough. It's good enough, and I think it does look kind of pretty at night with those flowers just shining in the garden. But over here we have the screenshots, and it's the cottage, a roll, which I think looks pretty good. Over there is the kitchen area and the entrance, which I really do like. It looks like there's a lot of like knickknacks everywhere, which I think is really cool, and it looks like a lot of family things, like passed down things, which I do really like antiques, and I really enjoyed making this build. And if you guys enjoyed watching this build, then please make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment down below for which build you would like to see me do next, and I'll be sure to read them, and maybe I'll even pick a build. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.